Who here has a dream? A big dream. One that both excites and scares you. One that's hard, but possible. I want you all to think about it. It might be going back to school, changing careers, running a marathon, launching yourself into early retirement. It might be standing on this stage, performing, public speaking, giving a TED talk. I want you to call that dream an ocean. And over the next 10 minutes, I'm going to tell you about my ocean and how I crossed it and the lessons learned. My ocean happened to be a literal ocean, the Atlantic Ocean. And in December of 2022, me and my best mate Charlie rowed 3,000 miles across the Atlantic from just off the coast of Africa in the Canary Islands all the way across to Antigua. Now, it was part of a race called the World's Toughest Row. Let me explain to you a little bit about ocean rowing. This is a niche sport. More people have been to space. More people have climbed Everest than rowed an ocean. How it works is one of you rows for 2 hours, while the other one eats up to 8,000 calories a day and still loses weight. There are easier ways, I promise. Then you wash the salt water off your body. You attend to the sores, your blisters, your bum, and your knees. Imagine sitting on a rower in the gym for 40 days. How sore you would be. And after that, you crawl into a little cabin, here I am, and you try and sleep while it rocks and sloshes, and you worry about your mate on deck. You sleep for about an hour, and then you get dressed in your damp, smelly clothes, and you get back on deck, and you do it all over again. And you do that non-stop, 24 hours a day, for 40, 50, 60 days, however long it takes. Now, during our crossing, Charlie and I, we faced waves 35 foot tall, faces as big as this building. We were struck by marlin. In the middle of the night, snapped our rudder. We had great white sharks, orcas circling our boat. We saw squirrels running on the deck. We saw gas stations in the middle of the night. We hallucinated. We were so tired. Every 5 days, one of us had to jump in the ocean, 25,000 feet deep, and scrub the barnacles off the bottom because it slowed us down, while the other one was on shark watch. Here I am. In a 5-day storm, on the 5th day, we capsized. And at that point, the boat was upside down. Charlie was to my left, stuff flying everywhere. I looked at Charlie and I thought, is this it? Is this how we die? But we didn't. The boat self-righted and we made it. In fact, we were the fastest pair that year. We won. But this was a 2-year journey, of intense commitment. And it taught us so much. Some things that stick out. Be kind. Be kind to one another. Be humble. Mother Nature will always win. Be resilient because stuff goes wrong. And be prepared because there is no Home Depot in the Atlantic. I want you to go back to your ocean. That big dream. What stops us crossing our own oceans? Starting is hard, right? But what stops us starting? So often it's fear. Fear of failure. Fear of the unknown. Fear of getting out of that routine. Time. I can't do that. My plate's full. Now's not a good time. But what's it filled with? Ask yourself that. Physical ability. I can't do that. That's not for me. That's for the fit guy over there. We're capable of so much more than we think. And money. I hear it all the time. I don't have the resources. That's for people like you. our oceans often come at a time when we need a change in our life. Who's ever joined the gym in June? But I'm serious. They come when we need it most, when we're at a low. And that's what happened to me. Let me take you back. Let me take you back to June of 2020. I'm in the restaurant business. We're in the first lockdown during COVID. All our restaurants are either closed or permanently closed, but one, and it's on life support. We've laid off almost all of our 250 team members. There's 4 of us left. I'm drinking too much. I'm over-leveraged. I'm scared. I'm a poor leader, poor dad. I'm at rock bottom. But this is the time when you need to take back control. This is the time when you need your ocean to appear, and mine did. I had a friend who rowed across the Atlantic in 2013, and the first thing I thought is, how is that possible? And I spoke to him, and I was amazed by how it changed him. So when I went to tell my wife about my great idea during COVID, my reality set in. My reasons why not to row an ocean set in. At the time, Kate, my wife, was 3 months pregnant with our daughter Iris, and my son Oscar was 3. Now, the number one question I always get asked when I talk about our journey is not, what was it like to go to a bathroom in a bucket for a month? How did you row through storms for 5 days? No, the number one question I get asked is, why did your wife let you do it? And I answer that with, it made us stronger as a family, as a couple. You know why? Because it forced us to have hard conversations. It forced us to prioritize our time, say no to stuff, ask ourselves what was really important. And we've come out of this stronger. It's incredible. Now, I think life is amazing. Incredible. You know why? Because we get to write our own script. It's our movie. When I was 5, and here I am in my very snazzy uniform. This is 1989, not 1940 in England. I just want to be clear. When I was 5, I lost my dad. And I lost my dad to alcoholism. He drank himself to death. And so when I dropped Oscar, age 5, at school for the last time, knowing full well the risk of rowing across the Atlantic Ocean, it was one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. But if you flip that script, it was also the thing that motivated me more than anything to be prepared, to be someone who that kid looked up to return home quickly and safely. And here I am in the third picture, having rowed the Atlantic, talking to Oscar's entire school about the wildlife we saw in the middle of the Atlantic, the night sky. And for right now, won't be forever, I'm that boy's hero. Money. We're in the middle of the pandemic. Who's going to sponsor an ocean rowing team who's never rowed a boat? I started calling. Not emailing, calling. I called and called and called. I showed up in people's offices, I knocked on their door, and most people said no. No, 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 no. But you know who said yes? A cosmetic dentist. He was looking to get into the health and wellness space in this community, and we were 2 Brits with bad teeth looking to row an ocean. Match made in heaven. In life, you'll get 1,000 no's. You just need 1 yes. Then you can buy a boat, and then you're an ocean rowing team. Now, I didn't row this ocean alone. I rowed it with a partner. I rowed it with the best partner, Charlie Layton. Now, just like me, Charlie had 0 rowing experience. But Charlie had something else. Charlie had grit. Charlie was tough. but Charlie was also kind and humble. Now, if you're going to row your ocean or cross your ocean with a partner, be it life, be it business or adventure, stress test that relationship before you set off. Everyone is fantastic on a sunny day, but how are they 1,000 miles from land in a raging storm? The number one thing that goes wrong in ocean rowing is not rowing through a hurricane, 50-mile-an-hour winds, 20, 30, 40-foot seas. No, the one thing that goes wrong is the breakdown of your partnership. Have tough questions before you set off. And Charlie and I did that. We committed to enjoying it. And Charlie and I turned average moments into great moments. Every morning, we'd have breakfast as the sun was coming up in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. And the person coming on shift would pop their head out the hatch and say, "Morning, mate." "Morning. What can I get you for breakfast?" Now, we ate the same thing for breakfast every single day. The other one would respond, "Oh, I'll get that granola with the peanut butter." We turned, we faced each other, and we'd say, "How are you? How are you feeling? What hurts? What did you see in the night that might not be there?" In a great partnership, communication is everything, but so is tone. Now, when we started this journey, we were in the worst shape of our life. Charlie won't mind me saying this. He was over 300 pounds. As I said, I was drinking too much. When we went to the gym for the first time, we couldn't sit on a rower for more than 20 minutes without falling apart. But after some serious coaching, 20 became 40 minutes. And then 40 became an hour, which became 2, which became 4, 8, 16, eventually 72-hour training rows, which became 1 million strokes, 40 days, 8 hours and 59 minutes, becoming the fastest pair that year to cross the Atlantic, beating UK Special Forces. The first 20 minutes, thank you. Remember this, the first 20 minutes is always the hardest. Starting is hard. Now, whenever I want to do something big, I plant a flagpole. And I plant a flagpole at the finish line. And I work backwards. Because if you wait until you've got it all figured out, until you're ready, you will never start. And the next thing I do, and this sounds a bit kooky, is I write a mission statement. This was my mission statement, written in June of 2020. To row across the Atlantic as quickly and safely as possible and raise $150,000 for the Green Heart Project and have fun. I wrote that in June. I'd never, ever been in a rowing boat. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if people roll their eyes when you tell them. It matters how you feel when you say it. If you die tomorrow, I promise you this, no one will remember how much stuff you have. The car you drive, how big your house is, or how much money you earn. They will remember the lives you touched, the people and communities that you impacted, and the experiences that you lived. If 2 very average guys can row a literal ocean, what are you waiting for? Start today. Go plant your flagpole. Go find your people. Go cross your ocean.